Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. You're enjoying Team of the Year. Stuff is going well for you with the promo. Obviously, the pack weight has been so bad, so that part has not been a great time for a lot of us. I feel like it's just so hard to pack any of these players. But today, we kind of got the first announcement randomly about Future Stars swaps. I like to do videos on Future Stars when we get the information about it, kind of talking about what's the best option, what do I like, what do I not like. So just so you know, there is a token in SBCs today, and just when you log on, there's already 2 tokens. Now, there's going to be 30 tokens, and it runs until February 16th. So you have until February 16th to gather all the tokens. I'm recording this video on January 30th, so it's just a little bit more than 2 weeks, which means there's probably going to be a token every day and then 2, every other day, but a lot of those days as well. Now, also, February 6th is when the rewards will start to be available. So in like a week from now, you will be able to get, the first set of unlocks if you want. I'm assuming by a week from now, Coutinho might be possible. Maybe the player pick is getting close to possible with the 15 tokens. But we have some options. We're going to go over those options today. And if you enjoy the video today, guys, drop a thumbs up. Supports the channel a lot. Thank you to everybody who's been watching the videos recently. We've had so many viewers this week on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. The support has been crazy. Thank you, everybody, for subbing. You know how we do. We're trying to keep the content strong for you. So you've got an 8111. That is pretty standard. We've all seen that pack before. EA actually tweeted out the graphic today. You've got a Future Stars Team 1 pack for only 3 tokens. So that's actually a little bit interesting because for the most part with Future Stars, you don't actually see a lot of crazy... a lot of like endgame players, but there are some pretty good players. And, in last year's Future Stars, you had a lot of fodder players, but you did have Jude Bellingham. You had Smith Rowe. You had Vlahovic. Future Stars was a promo that was a lot better a few years ago. It's not as good now. It's a little bit overhyped. It's still a fun promo. But yeah, a Team 1 pack, 3 tokens. You are looking at most likely getting like Pedro Porro, Damsgaard, Ramos. The weight will be really high on those players, but I say that this is not a terrible value because 3 tokens to try your luck is not that many tokens, right? Like, it's literally 3 SBCs. Even then, you even get one for logging on once to the game. So that's already, like, decent. Now, base Zola for 5. I actually think this is pretty cool of EA. I know that, like, base icons are probably a little bit outdated now, but 5 tokens is so effortless. Like, you can literally complete 5 SBCs and get baby Zola. He's actually a good player. You could argue a little outdated. He's got good passing. He's got good shooting. He's just very weak, but look at that, right? 92 agility, 92 balance. That's pretty good. 93 acceleration. So he's not bad. He's explosive, and I think he's a good card. Would I recommend him with the other available options? Probably not, but it's still a good card. Now, for 10 tokens, it says 8420. I don't see that in the game, so I'm a little confused. I don't actually see that in the game menu, so that part was a little confusing to me, but it is on the EA website. EA's got the website posted. They do have it on the website. It is in Future Stars rewards. 8420, you know how that goes. It's usually just fodder, but there's a lot of crazy SBCs out right now. So an 8420 for 10 tokens could be a really, really nice option for people. You've got a Mbappe player of the month, right? Like, that's such a crazy player that you could potentially get. You've got all these upgrades for Team of the Year. You've got, those will be gone, but Zidane will be gone, but you've got Kaká, you've got a bunch of icons that are really good that are out. So, for me, it's not bad to have that option. For the same amount of tokens, you can get Coutinho. Now, I was really curious about Coutinho because I love using Coutinho in FIFA. His Bayern card on FIFA 20 was one of my favorite cards. I loved his Foot Fantasy last year, and I really like Coutinho in real life, but I don't think the card is good enough. I don't have a problem with the pace because I think acceleration at 87 and agility 94 is going to make him feel very fast. That's just kind of how this game is working this year. My issue with him is that he's only got 81 finishing, his reactions are 83, and his strength is only 56. So I feel like he's going to be very weak with lower reactions compared to some other players. I think he'll be good, but I think he's just not going to be fully worth it. It is cool how he can play center mid, though, and his defending is not the worst. So you could play him as like an LCM in a box-to-box for 10 tokens, but I just feel like could be a bit better. Would be really interesting if he was 5'5". That would be awesome. I'd probably be taking him if he was 5'5", but he's 5'4". I still think a 4-star weak foot is very good. It's an interesting option. It's not one of those ones where you see the player and you're like, wow, I have to do this card now. I see this player, it's got to be done. So I don't think it's that level. Now, for 15 tokens, guys, we have this 87 plus player pick with wildcard Centurions or Future Stars Team 1 players, and it's 1 of 5. So we don't know who's in Future Stars yet. I'm sure by the time you see this video, there's going to be tons of leaks about it because that's just how the community is working these days. But if we go and look at Winter Wildcards, right? 87 plus, all right? There's a lot of decent players. Now, there is a lot of fodder, but you've got St. Max, you've got Mendy, who's 800K, you've got Dembele, you've got Varane, Tomori, Robertson, Jesus, Lacazette is very good in this game, Jadon Sancho. So, you know, and then you've also got De Bruyne, who's 1.15. That's just crazy. But yeah, that's actually an interesting option. And then you've also got Centurions, which is, I think, also decent. It's not that crazy, but it's also decent. And Centurions had a lot of really, really solid players. You definitely have more fodder in Centurions, though. So, you know, for me, you know, this one is an interesting risk. I think it's going to end up being a lot of fodder, though. But 87 minimum is a nice minimum to have. It does get rid of a lot of players, so that might interest some people. There's definitely something to be said there. For the same amount of options, you have the 85-10. Now, my take on it is that I don't feel like the 85-10 is worth 5 more tokens than the 84-20. I just think that's a bad, like, decision. I think the 84-20 is way better. You get 20 players. Maybe you'll end up getting less, like, 85-plus players. You'll probably get 10, 11, 12, 84s, but I think you just have a higher chance with 20 players in there to get something insane. For 20 tokens, you have mid-icon George Best. Now, he is very good. He is actually a very good player in FIFA, but I was really hoping this would be the prime. Imagine this was the prime. It'd be so sick. But yeah, he is 530K. And Best in FIFA is really good. This year, he's also very good. Explosive, 90 pace. He's got good shooting. He doesn't really miss the net. Step over is very good. Left stick dribbling, R1 dribbling, very good this year. Best is a really solid player. You can use him as a striker in game or probably a right wing. That's what I would recommend. Still don't think the value is there for him at 20 tokens though. I just think that you're better off going for 5 more tokens than him and going 2 85-10s because you could use this fodder in somebody really, really, really crazy like an Mbappe and one of those players that's available for a really long time. I think that's probably the best move with this token level. And then you've got the Prime Icon player pick. Now, Prime Icon player picks are honestly some of my that's my favorite. Last year was like my favorite thing we had in FUT. Let me pull up a video real quick with that. But Prime Icon player pick, for me, this is the best. I think this is the best option that you can kind of go for. I think you have the highest chance of getting something crazy. You know, like right here we've got Prime, look at this. Prime Dino, Van der Sar, and Prime Cruyff in the same pick. I mean, obviously that one is crazy, but this is what I had got Pele out of. Even there, Roberto Carlos. We're just looking at a sample size of all of them. Raul, Petit, Cannavaro, that one's not great. But the nice part is they are all Prime Icons, right? And so if you're a person that also maybe has not done a ton of the Prime Icon SBCs, like who have we had recently? Kaká. You know, maybe this is even a better option for you. This is really nice. Lam and Puskas, obviously that's really good. So this is, I think, as of right now, what I'm going to be going for. Now, as I said before, there's only 30 tokens available, guys. So we could run into the option where EA starts putting a bunch of these in squad battles and stuff like that, and I end up not wanting to do it anymore. But I did end up going through, and I did do the World Cup swaps, and I ended up getting Vieira. You guys know that. And this was a grind. So I figure for a Prime Icon player pick, I'll probably go for it. Yes, Vieira is definitely better than a Prime Icon player pick, but I figure I'll go for it. I think we gotta send it. Is really the way that I'm probably looking at it, guys. So I mean, overall, 30 tokens. If you were to get all of them, you can right away, you could do the Prime Icon player pick, 1 of 3, and then a Future Stars Team 1 pack. You can just try your luck and see if you could somehow get a Future Stars player. You know, in terms of fodder, 285-10s is going to be great. I know you look at it like, wow, is 285-10s really worth 15 more tokens than an 84-20? Because it is the same amount of players, but I think it is. Right? I think 285-10s could be nice. It's a lot of fodder. That option is nice for 25. If you wanted to get all of them, you could actually also get an icon, which is kind of crazy. You could get Baby Zola, which would be nice for just maybe doing objectives and stuff like that. If you wanted to kind of chill out and not really go that hard with the swaps, do some of the SBCs, get some of the logons. I really feel like the Future Stars player pick is nice. for 15, and then also the 85-10, just a simple little 85-10. You probably just got to log on and do daily SBCs a couple of times. I mean, 15 times, obviously, but it's not that terrible. So that seems like a chill option. Coutinho seems like a pass unless you're just a massive Coutinho fan. I do think that the way EA operate these days is we always get so many versions of all these players, so we'll probably end up getting a better version of Coutinho at some point this year. Yeah, overall, it really looks to me, you've got the 27 token option. That's great. The Prime Icon player pick is really good. I think it'll be worth it to hold out for that. As we know, primes are the best versions of the cards this year. The only other times we get these crazy versions is during these promos now. There's not one set of icon moments that's going into the market, though. Primes are technically the best version. So, yes, there's going to be a better version of all these primes for the most part this year, but primes are the best version out of the three. So, until it's a promo card, you have the option of getting some of the best versions of these icons in this game. 85-10 times 2 is really nice for the 25. 15, you've got 2 great options. And then if you really just want to chill out, I'd say just go for the 84-20 at 10. That's great fodder. You can use it in a lot of these crazy SBCs that are available. And that's the way that I look at it. So I think that's really option-wise what's best for swaps at the moment, guys. And I just want to run through that with you guys. So I'm going to be going for the Prime Icon player pick. Yeah. And we've got another swap. So hopefully EA kind of keeps doing these throughout the spring, because I think I talked about it today, like between the cups and the draft rewards, I think EA is doing a very good job of at least what my community, what we were asking for was always getting like a refresh on these drafts, being able to really grind out these objectives, get a lot of fodder with these packs, and then also having cups that are always kind of coming out that we can always kind of go ahead and do. So we want to see more of this. We want to see EA continue it because it's very good for people that are trying to grind packs and stuff without spending money on the game. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys later. Peace.